Jesus was tempted 3 times in 3 ways in the desert when he was alone. Often when we are alone is when we are greatly tempted. The number 3 is used as a literary device often in the scriptures as meaning a fullness or a completeness in the action. And in this case, the message we're receiving is that Jesus is fully and completely human. The temptations are every kind of temptation in their fullness. So when we hear of the 3, it wasn't just 3. It means in every way was Jesus tempted, just like you and me. The difference, perhaps, is that he endured them, resisted them, and therefore he remained blameless. And we're not quite as blameless as he was and is. But sometimes we think that the temptation itself is wrong. We condemn ourselves for being tempted. But that's crazy, isn't it? There are 3 things that make up a temptation, and the sin that follows: means, motive, and opportunity. Those are terms that are well known to the police or to lawyers. Does the criminal, the person being charged, have the means to do it? Did he have the capacity? Was he able or she able to do it? Well, in all of those temptations, Jesus had the ability, the capacity to change the rock into bread. The devil knew it, or else he wouldn't have suggested it. It would not have been a temptation if he didn't have the capacity. Did he have the motive? His hunger itself is a motive. It's a motive for many of us. But the hunger is not the sin. Our desires, even the intimate desires that we have, is not a sin. Those desires that are completely human, those hungers that are within us, that push us, in fact, towards one another, are not the sin. They're a grace. They're part of our humanity. It's how we act. And I'll talk about that in a moment. Finally, there's opportunity. Did Jesus have the opportunity? The world offers many opportunities for us. And that's what the devil presented. Here's the world. Look what the world has to offer. Why are you making this decision to do the will of God when there's so much else out there? I can remember when I first chose to become a priest, many people said that same thing to me. Why choose this when there's so much opportunity out there? To which, of course, I could simply say, well, there's an opportunity to serve the Lord as well. And that's the one I want to do. That's the one I choose. The point, not the temptation that condemns us. It's how we respond. The sin comes from temptation. But the temptation itself, that comes to all of us. Because we all have means, capabilities that are God-given. We all have motives, hungers, desires. And the world is full of opportunity for good and bad. And what makes the difference in our lives? It's in our choice for good. It's in our choice for God. And that is within all of our power. So tonight, let us consider and think of the choices we've made in our lives. The good choices especially. Oh, we've made some bad ones. And you may want to talk about that, but don't. Talk about the good ones we made. The tests that we're under that made it difficult. When we did something that we didn't want to do, and it could be as simple as a phone call to somebody that, oh my God, I'm going to be talking to them for 20 minutes. The temptation was to say, no, don't do that good. But we did it anyway. Tell about your successes when temptation was yours. And finally, I just want to mention this. It's in our temptations that we often feel alone, as if we're facing the world and ourselves, our desires and our needs and our once by ourselves. But the story says that when we made the right choice, when Jesus made the right choice, the good choice, angels ministered to him. That's how I have been my experience as well. In my good choices, I have found others who were like angels to me, in their kindness, in their generosity, in their support. And that is true, isn't it? There's always people that will support us, who will see when we're doing the right thing. God bless your discussion tonight.